relaxed, when my hair was relaxed, I would go to the shop and get my hair trimmed every 6 weeks. I wore my hair in a straight style. The even length mattered. If I had a layered cut, it mattered where the layers fell, and I trimmed my hair to maintain that look. I think about trimming a little differently for my daughters because their hair is nappy and it's shrunken most of the time. So even if I did trim it evenly, depending on how the hair shrinks wherever it is on the head, it might look even when it's straight, but when it's shrunken, it might look completely different. Most of the time, I keep their hair braided up. So I don't really think about trimming or cutting their hair to maintain a shape. The reason I trim and cut my daughter's hair is, for one, the health of the hair strand, because we know that as the ends begin to split, the split could move up higher and higher on the hair shaft, and that gives you a weaker strand. And also, I think about trimming with regards to how their hair performs in the styles that I give them. So I have Mocha Girl 1 here. And every time I do their hair, I think about how their ends look with regards to the style that I'm giving her. She wears her hair in twists a lot. The way I assess whether it's time for her to get a trim or not is I look at the uniform thickness of her twist from root to end. Now, since her hair is not all perfectly one length, the ends are gonna be somewhat thinner than, say, the top or even the middle. So I don't immediately say she needs a trim because the ends are a little bit thinner than the top. However, if I see that, you know, it's thick and then it gets thin and then it gets stringy, and it's stringy for a lot longer than what I think looks good, or if I'm twisting her hair and I notice that as I get toward the ends, more and more of the strands pop out of the twist, that's when I decide that it's time to trim her hair. And I really don't take a lot off. Now, looking at her hair right now, it's still performing fairly decently. I'm really mostly doing this demonstration for the sake of the video. For me, I really wouldn't necessarily trim her hair now, but it is a little stringy at the end. So I'm going to show you what I do is I try to put her hair in twists that are about the same size all over her head. So I part this way and then I use my fingers to grab a section down, but you can part down also if you want to. I don't do it as a perfect science. So I didn't measure to make absolutely sure every twist was the same size, but looking at it, they're all about the same size. Then I take the twist, and I do this once her hair her hair could be damp. But right now her hair is dry. So I take the twist and, you know, I just trim a little bit off the ends. And that's it. I trim as much as I think is necessary to get the width uniformity, like the thickness uniform from root to ends. That's how much I take off. So for her, in this case, it was very little. Another thing I do is I keep my scissors near me when I'm styling their hair. She might not have raggedy ends all over her head. There might be 1 or 2 or 3 braids that look like that, and right on the spot I'll do the trim remedy for her hair. And so that's why I think all their twists pretty much stay nice and full from root to tip. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about your scissors. These are scissors that I bought for very little at Sally Beauty Supply, but you could get them anywhere that sells hair scissors. The important thing to remember is that when you buy scissors to trim the hair, you need to have a pair of scissors that you dedicate only to trimming the hair. I only cut my daughter's hair with this. If I have to cut a piece of paper or anything else, I use a different pair of scissors. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I don't believe that trimming makes your hair grow longer. I don't believe that if you don't trim, the hair won't grow. However, I do think, and I have experienced, that if you never trim, the hair does get thinner and thinner and more fragile, and you end up not having a full strand that's as strong as it could be.